Hello and welcome to another Talk episode. I'm your host Teddy, and today I'm being joined once again by
Hayden.
And today we're going to talk about the TMNT 2012 Season 2 Episode 18, Pizza Face. Oh god, what do you think of this episode?
Well, first off, I'm never going to look at pizza the same way that I do ever again.
I mean, so with this episode, when I first watched it, I sort of enjoyed it for what it was when it first came out, but at the same time, this episode, I have not seen, this is the second time I've watched this episode in 10 years. I very much hate this episode.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's get into this one. Okay, so first start off with the opening scene. We do get to see a pizza delivery person. He's coming in, he accidentally hits Irma, and April decides to take the pizza, and she gets overthrown by the pizza. What do you think about that scene?
To be honest, I thought it was an alright scene. It's good to see Irma again, just hanging out and all that. And then of course, we get to see the crazy pizza delivery guy that almost runs down Irma. What just crazy. But yeah, I wasn't expecting how it would go that way. To be honest, it was very weird. Like April taking the pizza and just running off, and getting attacked by the pizza. That was just I wasn't seeing that coming. Like I was thinking, oh sweet, she's got a free pizza and she's gonna go show the turtles. But nah, pizza has a mind of its own and attacks her. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I think about this scene here. It first started off with a little bit weird just because you get to see Irma gets hit by a bike and she just gets up as if nothing's happened. I did find that to be like really strange how she was able to just get up from that. But yeah, and then when April was walking away with the pizza, did you get this vibe, like Rat King vibes? All the like scenery, like seeing it from like another person, with the music, the sound effects. Did you get that sort of vibe?
To be honest, I didn't actually pick up on that. No, sadly, I didn't.
Well, I saw like in like the vibes Rat King just because I'm pretty sure they reused some of his like music and sound effects. Yeah, and we do get to see April throw away pizza, which I must admit I do find weird, just because if you got a pizza, then you know at least eat it because it's free and stuff like that. So yeah, I found it a little bit weird. So then after that, we do get to see Mikey makes his own pizza. With very disgusting topics.
Oh.
Or toppings. Yeah. What do you think about that scene?
Oh god. To be honest, at first I thought, oh wow, he's actually looks like he's making a good pizza. He's got the dough out, he's got the flour, he's got the sauce on it. I'm like, oh, this is going really well. And then of course, it took a turn for the worst. The first red flag that I saw when he was making the pizza was adding hot sauce. And I'm like, okay, he likes his pizza a bit spicy. Got no problems about that at all. And then of course he then goes and then puts sardines in it. I'm like, okay, this is kind of a big leap. And then you couldn't think it would get any worse from the sardines. He then goes into the garbage and picks up a giant pile of dirt with worms coming out of it and who knows what, chucks it in the pizza, and then of course thinks, oh, I need cheese now with it. I'm like, to be honest, I don't know what to say. All I could say, he has a stomach made of iron. That's all I can say, because when I heard and looked at his pizza, I couldn't help but like clench my stomach and think, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to be sick.
I mean, with this bit here, I thought it was great to see Mikey actually doing something different and unique. I mean, I did find it a little bit weird that he hasn't made pizza before, and also I'm pretty sure that this might be the first time in like Tolkien or history or whatever it is for it to actually be like show Mike actually cooking his own pizza, which I mean, with this being the start of it, it can only go up from here. But yeah, there's just, the toppings were disgusting. I mean, even looking at the end result with like a dead rat coming out of it is. There was like a lot of stuff in there which I'm really questioning a lot about.
Yeah, it was questionable.
I just don't know where to begin with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, I will say this: good songs. That's the only decent thing that came out of it. I mean, I want
bad for it,
the
yeah.
actual toppings themselves, but yeah, I just don't even know where to begin. I mean, out of all that stuff, the only thing I'd eat from that would just be the cheese, but
yeah, same. I'd have to join you on that one. Just even talking about it now just makes my stomach curdle.
Yeah. So yeah, then after that we do get to see Mikey goes off to get a pizza from Antonio's, and then he comes back and it's a mutant pizza. What do you think about that scene where it was fighting Mikey around the lair?
To be honest, I thought I'd seen it all, but clearly I haven't, and I couldn't help myself but laugh. Like, the pizza had a mind of its own, and it was super weird and creepy. Like, how it would just, like, eat me. I'm like, what was that? It's like, eat me. I was like, what? Eat me. And I'm like, I was with Mikey on this one. I was like, what the hell? Am I going insane, or is the pizza talking to me, you know? But nah, it was a very confusing scene. It was, like, really weird and quite funny. I couldn't help myself but laugh when he was, like, on the floor, like, trying to wrestle this pizza, just, like, try and kick the living hell out of it. It's like, I never thought I'd see Mikey do that, ever. Especially with pizza.
Yeah, I mean, with this scene here, I think, it's just one of these kind of scenes that just, I like it a little bit, but also just, I don't know, there's gonna be a lot of these kind of things when I'm just like, I'm really mad at it, but I think for like some of this stuff in here was pretty decent and funny. I mean, I did enjoy that it was a different kind of battle with fighting food and stuff like that. I mean, I found it interesting, unique, I want to say, and I did enjoy it for the most part. I don't know, this is very conflicting. It's all like with the Mutant Mayhem stuff where I'm just like, I like this, but at the same time, it could be better, but it was decent. I mean, I did find it weird that the pizza could change between a normal pizza and then being the actual pizza face thing itself. It's just gonna be one of those kind of scenes.
You're very conflicted on this episode, aren't you?
I very much hate it, but like there's a few things in here which I'm like, ooh, that's funny. And with this bit here, as much as I hate it because of like the whole episode and all that, there is a little bit like about this scene here where it's just like, it's fun, it's Turtles, but at the same time it's this episode, it's Mikey's story, and need I say more? So then after that we do get to see Mikey goes up to the streets and he sees zombies. What do you think about that scene there?
To be honest, I first thought, oh my gosh, it's like the Night of the Living Dead up there in New York City right now. Like, everyone's a zombie, everyone's like acting all strange and weird, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like the zombie apocalypse, but in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. But of course, when Mikey goes up to the surface, he finds April as well, and of course April has also been turned into what I like to call a pizza zombie. And it was pretty funny. It's like, hold on a minute, like everyone's been turned into a pizza zombie and somehow Mikey isn't as of yet. Because to be honest, I thought he would be the first to go because of his obsession, or another word, addiction to pizza. Like, I thought he'd be the first to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this scene, I don't know, I think that this scene here was decent, I want to say, with what they was doing in this bit here, is starting off the zombies. I mean, I do feel like because I've seen, there was an issue with Turtles, where it is like a similar sort of thing, with, I think it was Krang basically taking people who are asleep and stuff. It reminded me a lot of that issue from the 2012 comics. But like some of the stuff here with the zombies just throw Michael up to the rooftop and then just, magically in the next scene somehow already up to the rooftop. So there's all stuff in there that's just like, okay, is that really realistic? Is that really like that? And but yeah, then after that we do get to see Mikey go home and he sees all the turtles eating the pizza and all become zombies. Even seeing Mark Splinter burp, and then he goes into another fight with all the other pizzas, where he's going around the sitting room just killing pizzas. Yeah, what do you think about that scene?
That was certainly an interesting scene. To be honest, I couldn't help but laugh. Like, all the pizzas had like this weird, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a weird, I don't know, like a typical New Yorker accent, and I couldn't help but laugh because they were just like these. It was so weird. I'm not dissing like the New Yorker accent, but it was just so weird. It's like, hey, like I couldn't help but laugh. Like all these different pizzas flying around, attacking Mikey, and I see where they wanted to go with this as well. Like they wanted to add in the like some I don't know, like pizza gore, in which where Mikey throws around the pizzas and they hit the side of the wall, and you could see like the detail that they put into like all the cheese and all the sauce splatters on the wall. I did kind of like that because it's showing like, oh, they want to play around with like pizza gore, as I like to call it, and I found that pretty interesting and quite funny. But nah, literally couldn't help but laugh. It was just so funny just seeing these little pizza faces with their little voices and just come around attacking Mike. I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah, I mean, with this bit here, I mean, I found it funny that we got to see Mark Splinter burp. I mean, it's Mark Splinter of all people doing it. But yeah, with that scene there, seeing like, I think it's like one voice actor just doing all that, just going, "Eat me, eat me." I loved it. It is. Again, it's playing into the elements of like the fun side of Turtles, which I think can like vary on people depending on how much you like the fun side of Timothy. And with this bit here, I mean, again, it's like one of these kind of scenes which I loved it because they're really playing into the fun aspects of this episode and this universe, really leaning into that, which I think worked really well. And it's something which, if you say out loud, you sound really stupid and insane, just going, like Michael's going around the sitting room, eating, fighting, flying, talking mutant pizzas. It sounds so stupid and insane, but it works. But again, like I've always said, at the same time, it's this episode, and with what they're doing, it's just, But we do go into another amazing scene. We do get to see Mikey doing a interrogation scene with a slice of pizza, and yeah, it also gave the origins as well of Antonio's. What do you think about that scene?
I really liked that scene. It was like a whole new light to Mikey's like personality. Like he went full on CIA interrogation mode. He had the seat, he had the lighting, he had all the torture tools on the table, and I'm like, hold on a minute, we just went from flying pizzas to interrogation. I'm like, whoa, there is a massive leap that I've missed out somewhere. But yeah. I just couldn't help myself. It was so weird and funny, but it worked. Like, I really did like how Mikey could turn into this sort of creepy and like mysterious characters, like being good cop, bad cop, and just showing the pizza, like all his mates and all his friends have been burnt to a crisp, and like the horror, like proper torture in this pizza. I'm like, this can't get any better than this.
Yeah, I mean, with this bit here again, like they're really playing into like the fun aspects of the whole universe, which I just think worked so well with what they're trying to go for, and it really did bring out a new aspect of Mikey's character, which I just absolutely loved about it. It just worked so well what they're trying to go for. It was just amazing, and I do like the darker aspects of this scene we've seen all the tools and even seeing all the other like pieces being killed. And, like, it works so well again, like really into the fun aspects of it. And you just go, Mikey, go, you see, there's a lot about it which it works so well because of what they're trying to do and go for, which just really played into the elements. And even when like Mikey throws the pizza into the fridge and he sees Ice Cream Kitty, like you don't expect that of Ice Cream Kitty. I mean, it's Ice Cream Kitty, and yet doing all the destruction.
Yeah, Ice Cream Kitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ice Cream Kitty is proper showing him.
Yeah. What do you think about the origin scene of Antonio turning into Pizza Face?
I have several questions. Like, one, why would you even attempt to put mutagen on pizza? And two, why would you taste a weird sort of glowing goo that fell from the sky? Like, who would be thinking that in their right minds in New York? Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I did find it really weird that he'll be doing that, especially that he's a chef and he thinks, oh yeah, that's good. I mean, he was playing out on the floor and it's like, oh yeah. But one of the things which, I mean, I found weird, and I think you might be thinking this as well. How did he turn into a food item? With most other things, they at least had other things to have DNA from, like animals or plants. But food does not have DNA. How did he turn into a pizza? Did you think this?
To be honest, I did, actually. I was going to ask you that, because I don't know how he turned into a pizza, because there was no animals involved, nor DNA. And that's what I wanted to ask you, but you don't know the answer to either. So, we're both in the same boat.
Yeah, it just seems so weird, but I guess that's leaning into the whole maybe dream aspect of this episode. So, yeah. But then after that, we do get to see Mikey goes into the pizza restaurant, and we see an interesting scene. We do get to see April becoming a pizza, with them throwing food at her face, pouring the sauce on her. What do you think about that scene? Because I know that it probably made us feel uncomfortable.
Oh my god, yeah, that was... Yeah, April being turned into a calzone, that was something. Like, she just straight up laid on the pizza base, she got covered in sauce, and yeah, that's... even just talking about it right now just makes me really weird and freaked out. As like, I don't know what to say. Just... Oh, it's an interesting scene. Like, I just wasn't expecting it at all. She like gets turned into a calzone, it almost gets eaten by the pizza, and I'm like, okay, either this episode is like really confusing, or I'm losing my mind.
Yeah, I mean, this scene, oh boy, it's not as bad as what it did in the Wormquake stuff, and I think this is a bit more just of the safer side of things, but at the same time, you just know someone just got excited about this bit. And it's just like, seems so weird, but, like, why April? Like, should we just move on, because I just don't know what to...
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see where this is going.
Yeah, okay, so then going into the next bit, we do get to see Mikey fighting his brothers with the pizza equipment. What do you think about that fight scene?
That was pretty cool to see. I did enjoy that fight scene. That was probably one of the better parts of the episode. It was quite funny to see, like, the pizza face calling them his mozzarella guard, you know? That was funny. And him turning into personal bodyguards, I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, I thought the fight scene with the pizza equipment in the pizzeria and with the mozzarella guard was quite funny, actually. I did like how Mikey was apologizing every single time when he hit his brothers, except for Raphael. He really wanted to hit Raphael. Like, I could sense the anger. from that.
Yeah, I mean, I think with this fight scene here, they really did lean into like some of the fun elements with like using the equipment, with like Don being shaken around with the mixer and like using the pizza base thing as a shield. I thought that's like a really fun, creative thing to do for a fight scene, and I wish they did lean into like this a little bit more with like you in like other fight scenes. I'm not just like talking about like this episode. I'm talking about like other episodes, which I think that could be like a lot of fun, which I could have with like using the environment around them. But it's a shame I don't do that, because I do feel like this episode really showed that you can do a lot of fun things with the right environment and the right people. But yeah, then after that, we do get to see Mikey getting stuck by Pizza Face and decides to just eat him alive. What do you think about that scene?
Yeah. I was not expecting that. I wasn't expecting Mikey to go full on Rambo and eat his way to freedom. Like, I just wasn't expecting that at all. Like, he just went full on Rambo, started eating his way out of the mozzarella, and then of course dived straight down Pizza Face's throat, and then of course ate him from the inside out, like something from the movie Alien or something, and just seeing him just get absolutely demolished. Which is pretty funny, and I liked how they used a lot of the so-called, I'm dubbing it as the pizza gore. Like, they really wanted to like make dark and gory, but make it like also PG and friendly. So they use like mozzarella sauce, tomato sauce, and all that, just to like, oh look, we're using gore, but we're keeping it PG, you know. But yeah, I really did enjoy that. That was quite funny and pretty cool to see. Like, they would go that length to make it like that good.
Yeah, I mean, with this bit here, I found it to be like quite fun to see him go into like that pizza goriness of just eating from the inside out. It was, I don't know, it's just one of those things that just happen. I don't have too much really to say about like these kind of things here. It's just happened, I guess. But we do get to see Mikey do a very powerful burp that breaks windows and be heard outside the shop. What do you think about that scene?
Well, as I said again, I was not expecting that at all. Like, that must have been a very powerful burp to be able to be heard from, like, inside and out. Like, break glass and everybody out in the process. Like, it must have been the power of, like, I don't know, like a bomb or something. Like, he literally just like ripped the burps of like the burp of all burps, you know, and like knocked everyone out, destroyed buildings, glass windows. I mean, it was insane. I just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I mean, one of these kind of things has just happened. I think that might be one way of describing it. It's a scene. But yeah, so then after that we do get to see Mikey. He wakes up and he realises that it might be a nightmare. So what do you think about that scene, and do you think it was a nightmare or not?
When he thinks it's a nightmare and he wakes up from, well, presumably the dream, I was thinking, okay, this makes a lot more sense. It was a Mikey nightmare. This makes so much sense on why it was so crazy and so vivid and just absolutely mental, and makes a lot of sense. And thought, okay, no worries, this is just a dream. It all makes sense. He's gonna fall back to sleep and he's gonna wake up and everything's fine and dandy. And then we move on to the pizza box, and then of course the remains of Pizza Face himself in a pizza slice form. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this just can't get any more crazier than it already is.
Yeah, I mean, with it being a nightmare, I'm not too sure if it is or not, and they never really explain it. Pizza Face only comes up in one more episode, but it's not really, he's not really like a main character. He's just like a cameo bit. So this is basically his one and only true appearance. So it's annoying that like they never really explain it or go back to it, because there's definitely a lot that's need to be said. But this bit here was the thing that really made me hate the episode. One, with all the Mikey stuff, with all I don't know. This bit here was the thing that really made me hate it because, like, I mean, well, you know how I am with this version of Mikey. I do feel like he has a lot of false humour and stuff like that, and I feel like this episode is really pushed to the max with like that kind of stuff. And I think that with this being here, with it just being a nightmare and making this whole thing just not really worth it, just like an episode which you can just skip, it just made it worse. Not to mention that this episode's in between like two big important ones, and it's a nightmare. It really annoyed me, really pushed me over the edge with this one. That really like made me just not watch it for 10 years. And this is the one scene that like really pushed me over the edge with this one. And I mean, I don't regret never watching it again, but seeing it again today, my opinions have not changed a single bit. But yeah, what do you think about this episode overall?
To be honest, I thought this was a nice, wacky episode. Totally not what I was expecting at all. It was completely out there and completely different to a normal, what I would say, normal Turtle episode. But no, I thought it was alright. I thought it did its purpose. It was a nice little like filler episode, and I actually enjoyed it. I wouldn't put it as my top 10. Definitely not, because it was just weird, but it was a nice little episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the complete opposite. Absolutely hate it. I mean, there are a few things in this episode that I'd say are. There are like a few redeeming qualities about this episode, where there are a few scenes that are quite funny, but I think that the fact that I've not watched this episode in 10 years really says a lot about it. And I really want to enjoy it because it's Turtles, but it's one of these things that's really pushed it over the edge. But yeah, with this episode, I refuse to get any positive comments for this one because I don't believe this episode should be deemed as good by anyone, so that's the reason why I have no comments. Do you want to hear some trivia about this episode?
Wow, okay, you really don't like this.
No. Yeah, do you want to hear some trivia about it?
Jeez. Yeah, sure, I just wasn't expecting you to go this far. And say, look, there's going to be no comments because I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to see it, I wish this could be buried. Like, folks, if you're listening to this right now, this is very new to me. Like, when Teddy says he doesn't like a Turtle episode, he means it, and it's a very clear indicator that he's got no comments for this. And as you can probably tell from this podcast today, he does not like it one bit.
Well, I haven't watched the episode in 10 years. I think that might be your first clue. So
yeah, that is a very strong indicator, but like, we usually have comments, like even one or two, but nah, you just straight up like cancelled that.
Yep, no. I don't love this episode, and I don't want to talk about this episode as much as I can. Like, as soon as we're done recording this thing, I'm never talking about this episode ever again. It's that kind of episode, and I just hate it.
Damn, alright.
Yeah, so this probably won't be in my top 10 episodes. Okay, so we do have some errors for this episode. After Mikey fights the first pizza, there are pizza slices everywhere, but in the sequence afterwards, pizza appears whole again, which, yeah, I did pick up on that, and I found that to be really weird. Also, with the actual, like, the talking pizzas, did you notice this? Like, on the bottom of it, it had the markings of the pizza slices, but on top of it, with the face, there was no slices, if that makes sense. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I thought it was a decal or like error with like its mask and all that. I was like, why is the pizza not being cut up, even though it's on the back? It just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Okay, his next error is that Mikey says as Mikey says after he destroyed the first pizza, he's going to get his money back, even though he didn't pay for the pizza. So that's great. As Mikey goes to save his brothers and Splinter, Grayson, Cos, Chang O'Brien, Gumbay, and others are seen outside the pizza shop. However, when Mikey goes inside the back of the shop to rescue his family, they suddenly appear in there. Yeah, okay. When Pizza Face attempts to eat Mikey at the end of the episode, his mask turns red. Okay. Okay, so for trivia, there's actually a lot of trivia, and this might take out like 10 minutes of the podcast. There's surprisingly a lot of trivia. Okay, so for the first bit, two sneak previews of this episode were revealed at a 2013 Comic-Con booth. And basically the scenes were incomplete story drafts of the animatics. In this episode, Mark Hashiro briefly sings the chorus of the Ninja Rap song, which is the one that was in the Mutant Mayhem movie in the garage scene. Pizza Face is based on the obscure TMNT villain from the 90s. He was originally a chef. Then he mixed mutagen into pizza into an oven and transformed into a deranged mutant cyborg being. Okay. Pizza Face has a similar origin here, except he's an independent character and has a body and completely formed pizza. The plot is inspired by the 1956 sci-fi horror film Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which okay, a little bit. In the beginning of the episode, Irma wants to watch Dusk or Zombie 4, which is a reference to Dawn of the Dead and the Zombie series. When Raph tells Mikey to go wait for the pizza and not eat it, Mikey slaps his hand, spins around and ends up hitting him in the head. It's an homage to the Three Stooges' many iconic slapstick routines. Victims of the Pizza Face were trapped in similar fashion that people were in the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Three Heads Hydra is an homage to the Gora, the three-headed monster. One of the VHS tapes scattered across the Turtles' living room was orange, a possible reference to the Nickelodeon brand VHS tapes. The pizza being delivered to the Turtles through a sewer grate is homage to the first movie. When Mikey traps the pizza inside the freezer, Asking Pretty twists her head as an homage to the Exorcist. No, sorry, wrong, sorry. Where possessed girl not only twists her head, but also curses her room to get colder. Mikey eats his way out of Pizza Face, just like the Exomorph Chestbusters do in the Alien franchise. This is the second episode Mikey sings Go Ninja Go Ninja Go from the Villainized Ninja rap, the first being in the Follow the Leader episode. Pizza Face was also an action figure in the 80s, but was never in show, comic books or movie until now. The original toy looks more humanoid than this version. He's the second actual mutant food of the series, first being Ice Cream Kitty. He's one of the few mutants who liked his nickname that Mikey gave him. He looked very much. He looks very much. He looks very much resembles Pizza the Hut from the Star Wars parody Spaceballs. Okay. According to the series producer, Antonio's character was created as a tribute to his father, who was also a pizza parlor. Oh, that's interesting. A pizza melting in the furnace during the interrogation scene was similar to the gremlin's head in the fireplace or Joe Detano's Gremlins. The pizza says, "Eat me, in a similar fashion to the cakes in the Tiny Toons episode Little Cakes of Horror. Itself a tribute to Audrey Levin's Feed Me line from the Broadway musical Little Shop of Horrors. On the phone box it says, the Triceratops are here. This is the first episode where Dominic Cachabrone voices Leonardo in the series. Kurtzman seems to appear in this episode. Cosmos appears in this episode as his body is shown, but his head is blocked. Okay. One of the brainwashed victims has Spider Bite's humanoid form body model. Okay, so this episode has quite a lot going for the people in this episode. Quite a lot of them don't have voices, but we'll go through as many characters as we can. So April was voiced by Mae Whitman, Donatello voiced by Rob Paulson, Asking Kitty voiced by Kevin Eastman. Leonardo was replaced for this episode by Dominic Casabone, and the reason for this is because the original person, I believe it was Jason Biggs, he was commenting a lot of stuff online. I think he was somewhat offensive to like loads of people, something like that, and Nickelodeon just got loads of complaints, so they decided to fire him. So, and they replaced him with him. Did you notice the difference?
To be honest, there was a slight change, but I couldn't say if it was or was not, and I thought, oh, it must be something wrong with the audio or something, or a slight change, but I didn't realise they actually straight up fired him and replaced him with someone new. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that it was like a different voice, but saying, oh no, actually, another thing about it, you could tell that it was the original voice, but with like, there's a little bit off that it was enough like the voice, but at the same time, just like, maybe not. So yeah. Mark Henshaw voiced by Greg Sipes, Raphael voiced by Sean Asantine, Irma voiced by Kate Momoku, and I said it wrong, sorry. Pizzukai voiced by Ciro Nerdy. Some other characters that was in this episode that don't have voices. We've got Charles Chang or Brian Gumby, homeless guy, little girl, the old man, Fong Sin Tosu from the Pole Dragons. We've got a sewer worker, a shopkeeper, truck driver, Splinter, the Super Robo Mecha Force team. We've got Captain Dash Coolstar, Dr. Blip voiced by Scott Menville, Hydra Bees, Lung voiced by North, Princess by May Whitman, and Squeakums. Who do you think voiced Pizza Face?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you if I couldn't tell you, mate. I have no clue.
Okay, well, with this episode, I think you've heard of the name, but I think that when you see what they've been in, you could be like, oh my god, it's that person. The person who voices him is John DiMaggio. Do you recognise that voice or that name?
John DiMaggio.
Well, he's done the voice of...
Okay, it kind of rings a bell.
He's done the voice for Jake in Adventure Time. He does the voice for the robot in Futurama. He's basically in every show ever.
Oh my god, no way!
Yeah, it's him. He's a very talented person.
Okay, now I know him.
Yeah. Once you see his thing, you and be like, oh my god, he's done that and that and that.
Okay, now I know him.
He's one of these kind of people who are like, oh god.
Hold on, I'm gonna look for his IMDb page.
Yeah, you're just gonna be surprised with how much he's been in.
Oh my god, he's been in Futurama.
Generator Rex was in, I believe it was.
Adventure Time, Futurama. Oh my god, Skull Island, the series, Rise of the Beast, Transformers Rise of the Beast, Teen Titans Go. Oh my god, this is my childhood right here. Let's have a look. Minions, The Rise of Gru,
I believe he was in
Destiny. He's been in the video games. He's been in Destiny 2.
I believe he's been like Generator Rex as well, which wow.
Hold on, I'm gonna find him. Oh, he's been in Final Space. Oh, I love that series. Good series. Spider-Man, Ben 10, The Universe, Scoob, the new Scoob movie as the restaurant owner. Better Call Saul. Oh, okay, he's only in one episode. I was like, oh my god, it's a Big Hero 6 series. Oh my god, there is so much here. That is so cool.
Yeah, he's like so talented.
Robot Chicken, The Adventure of Puss in Boots.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like one of the most talented people on the show.
So good.
But yeah, he's done like so much.
Oh my god, he's been in Transformers.
Oh, Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Oh, that was a good show.
Halo Wars,
he was in Generator X. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Warcraft. He's been in...
Yeah,
he was.
He was a monkey in Generator X.
Wait, was he? Oh, he's the monkey.
He played Joker.
Oh damn.
And he played Joker in the Red Hood movie.
Oh, he's been in the Penguins of Madagascar as well. The old TV series that used to be on Nickelodeon. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I'm just like having like such a big nerd out right now. Like all these shows, like all previous years, like we grew up on this stuff. Like this is our stuff, right? He's been in Skylanders. I can't. I'm sorry, but he's been in Skylanders. Did you used to play Skylanders?
No, I didn't have the latest stuff. I was a PS2 kid.
Oh, PS2. But yeah, oh my god, he's been in Generator X. There he is. Oh my god, he played as Boba Haha, Tin Cane, Jungle Cat. Is it Jungle Cat? Hold on. Damn. Oh my god. Okay, this guy. This guy made our childhoods right here. I can't say anything else because I probably just keep repeating what I already keep saying. This guy is
talented.
Thanks to him, we've got all these great shows.
Yeah, there's so much about it. I mean, I will say that like half the shows and stuff he's been in, I've not seen. Or no, you know what? Scratch that. Most of the stuff he's been in, I've not seen, and I think that's a real shame on my part because he is a very talented actor, and all stuff I've seen him in, he's just like on like another level. That makes sense with his voice. I just can't believe that he was in Turtles and all this other stuff that he's been in. Is just hard to really believe that it's him. He's the one.
Yeah. He's the one. He's been in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. He's been in Halo 3. I love playing Halo. All this good stuff, like all the video games that I used to play, like Gears of War. He's been in Gears of War a lot of the times. He's just so talented. His portfolio, I'm not even at the bottom yet, and I'm still looking through. It is ginormous on how much he has done, and he's been doing this since 1994. And he's still going. Like, he's still got a lot more coming.
Yeah, I mean, he's so great. So, yeah, so for next week's episode is about last week, the one that is going to be the great one with Tile Claw. So, I mean, we've already gone over what you wanted to say about that for last week's episode, so we don't have really too much to really say about it for this one. So, yeah, do you have anything else to say about this episode, or is it all done with this one?
To be honest, I think I've said what I've needed to say. I thought this was a really cool, wacky episode. It won't be in my top 10, sadly, but it was a nice little filler episode for what's to come.
Yeah, it definitely will not be on my top 10.
Yep, as it wasn't already prominent already.
Well, I mean, I just want to make it very obvious and very clear about my feelings towards this episode. And I hope that people who make future versions of Turtles...
And you have.
Yeah, no, I just want to make it very clear for like, people who make like future stories for Turtles, do not repeat the mistakes of this episode. Just don't do anything like this ever again and we'll be fine. I mean, you know, I'm not going to talk about it. That's enough. Yeah, if you do want to get onto the podcast, you can leave a comment on Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, Anchor, through a text message or voice message, and we will actually read those comments out on like this episode. So, yeah, that's it for today, guys. If it doesn't, please share. Let's just grab note stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.
Bye.